Buongiorno, my darlings. Happy new moon in Virgo. That's what we're talking about today. Wear this cute little pink top. And I wanted to share with you before we get started, like, how freaking cute is this? How freaking cute, right? Right? I can't get over. I'm just loving. I am working on a canvas about Lilith, the myth, and the wild, and just kind of like doing some healing in that space. And what's fascinating about that is that after I do all of this, like when I am like immersed in it, I like, please pop over to my Instagram if you've never seen my artistry before. I post a little bit of stuff over there about it. But like I'm in it. So like I'm in this like deep, dark, feminine space. And then afterwards I was just want to wear pink and feel just lovely and sweet. So very interesting to me. Black Moon Lilith, if anyone's interested, is right over here in the sign of Leo. So I'm going to do a whole talk on Lilith. I'm going to do it from the canvas, I reckon, because I want to channel as much of Lilith as possible. I was in it the other day and like the essence of Lilith came through, but like I kind of want to get like the vibration of Lilith. I don't want it to be just Lilith. So please do some research into Lilith if you're interested, because I'll do a whole talk on that. But today, organic red grapes. I've been having the organic black grapes, but the organic red, it's yummy. Today we are talking about the new moon in Virgo that we have coming up right over at 21 degrees of Virgo. Please grab your journal. I'm going to just give you the dates for this new moon. And, you know, well, please pause the video. I'll use the Virgo tarot card because we're going to go over some tarot as well. Please pause. Go get your coffee or tea, some water. Nice, nice. So this is the Hermit. This is the Virgo card. And as the title of the video states, like, no one's coming. No one's coming to save you. No one's coming to rescue you. For the light workers, like there's, yes, like white hats exist and they're there doing their work and they're doing their things, but no one's gonna frickin' come and like, what was it, like the high C man, like knocking the fucking front door and just be like, we're coming to save you. Here we go. It's like, you have to save yourself. I know, it's fun for everyone. But by saving yourself, you help create the vibration of community to help give everyone else the chance to save themselves. And then if everybody saves themselves, then everybody is saved. You know what I mean? It's 2:22 when I said that. Or it's 2:22 p.m. Eastern Standard Time as I'm recording this as I said that. So I thought that was interesting. So for Central Standard Time, this is happening on the 14th of September at 20:39. Leaving the military time, do your business. For the Gold Coast in Australia, the 15th of September at 11:39. And for Gloucester, Mass, Eastern Standard Time, it's at 14th of September, 21:39. At 21, so Boston, lots of 21s, 21 degrees of Virgo. And so this axis over here is the health axis. Virgo runs, this is the general wheel where we start with Aries, then we go all the way over to Pisces. And Virgo runs the 6th house of everyday life and practical service. And this is kind of the house of your daily habits. And just a full disclaimer, I'm not separating my videos into public ones and private ones for this new moon. I'm just having every single thing be public. Every single video is going to be out on YouTube and free and available for everyone. So please, I hope you all enjoy all of this content. So just a full disclaimer right there. So we will deep dive into every single rising sign and what you can work on, what house this is falling in and stuff like that. But for the introductory video, we're just going over the general wheel, and you don't have to go into that if you don't want to. So this is just a little bit about how we're all going to feel the general vibrations. And it's retrograde season. So we have Pluto, Saturn, Neptune, Jupiter, Uranus, and Mercury all retrograde for this new moon. So all we really have are, Mars and Venus that are going direct. We have had Venus over here in Leo in our 5th house of creativity, play, romance, childlike spirits, kiddos, and joy, retrograde for a while. So it was a little bit of a confusing summer or winter, depending on where you are in the world. But not really confusing. If you go back and watch my introductory video to Virgo season, I want to say, or even a few of the last few videos, it's not confusing as in like, what's going on? It's kind of like, we're in this new world where you do get to create your reality with your thoughts, words, actions, and intentions. But what we were really reassessing with that Venus retrograde was like our values. What do you want and why? What do you give a fuck about and why? Do you value? And Jupiter just went retrograde. It was last Sunday, the 3rd of September, that Venus went direct, and then the next day, the 4th of September, Jupiter went retrograde. So the two like really positive planets, for lack of a better term, benevolent, lovely, wonderful, gorgeous planets, within 48 hours they were stationed together. So that was kind of fun, because it's like Venus went direct, saying over the summer, it's not just about the hugs and kisses. It's not just about someone to snuggle with. If you don't honor my values, and if you don't have, not even honor, if you don't have the same values as me, our nervous systems are not coherent. They are not vibing at the same vibration. That's just physically going to make one or both of you uncomfortable. One of you, maybe the one that's, doing this work, and maybe you were with someone who was not doing their work, and you're cognizant of that. And it took you so much work to see this person, and then so much work to come down from them. And this could be a person, relationship, situationship, job, mindset, focus, desire, whatever that may be. And now that Venus is direct again, and still in the sign of Leo, general house of play, creativity, childlike spirits, and stuff like that. And we still have Lilith over here as well in this sign. Again, do some research on Black Moon Lilith, and please comment below if you're interested, and I'll get going a little bit sooner on that project for you. Because I find it to be very, very fascinating that we have, our feminine planet as well as our dark feminine planet in the sign of Leo. Like, interesting stuff. Very, very interesting stuff to me. Because now it's like, with Mercury retrograde in our sign over here, and Jupiter and Uranus retrograde in the sign of Taurus, it could be that things are slowed down to the point of frustration, or even, I'll say the word, fear. Could be financially, just could be certain things. And I get it. I'm reassessing all of my things. There's many reasons as to why I'll be putting everything out in the public stage. And so if you're interested, just I'll keep that to myself. So I get it. It can be very frustrating where you're trying to do something, you see this image, things are going to be that way, but it literally is your vibration and your everyday habits that are going to really change and affect your life. So when I say no one's coming, I mean that every single thing that you put on a shelf to deal with when this happens, and this is also for the negative. Seriously, this is also for, and like us as preppers, when are the lights going to go out? When are this going to happen? When's that going to happen? When am I going to lose this, that, and the third? We can't wait. You can't wait. So whatever you haven't done in anticipation for that, do the thing that comes behind it. Because then what's meant to be will come. It's like you have to surrender to releasing what it is that you want the most. It's like we have to take personal autonomy. We have to say that no one's coming. Okay, I'll give a parable. Or analogy. No, I like the word parable. We're leaving to go into a ship to cross over to the hopeful Americas or the hopeful whatever. We've no fucking clue if we're gonna die. We have no clue if there even is land. We have no clue if we'll make it, if the captain is competent. We have no fucking clue. We got to say goodbye to some family members. We got to say goodbye to some people. And we are believing in God. We know that, like, if we make it, when we make it, we'll make a plot of land. We'll send a letter back on a ship at some point to tell their family that it's okie dokie and that they can make it there as well. This could be fucking years. Could be years. Same thing. I need you to act right now as if you are just plopped down onto planet Earth. And it's so funny. As I watch these, I become so like new moon Virgo when I'm channeling. I emulate the entire sign. And so, like, I'm trying to, like, have my human, like, smile a little bit and be like, everything's great. But it's like, no one's coming. You're on your own. Save yourself and no one else. Like, that's not what I'm saying. By saving yourself, you save the world. So let's just get back to the chart. In the end of Virgo season, we sometimes can be a little bit, woe is me. You look at everything like an Everest, like, even right now, as I'm talking to you, no one's coming to save you. So whatever you were leaving behind to take care of, whether it be, you know, a habit that you were like, oh, when I get that job, I'll stop doing this. Then stop doing it. Oh, when I, you know, find this partner, I won't do that anymore. Then don't do that. You know, it's like, change your habit, change your paradigm, change your vibration, and then you're at that level of meeting that thing, that person, that whomever you have given this, no one's coming to. Whatever situation, you know what I mean? Whomever I'm talking to, whatever bucket it is, you have to become that. You have to take over that responsibility for your own life. So if it was like prepping, for example, we were waiting for all the lights to go out and for everything to crumble, and what were you going to do afterwards? You want to buy land with people? Okay. Who? Talk to them now. Yeah. And tidy up what you need to tidy up. And don't lose sight of the magic. Like, daydream as if it has happened. Like, utilize the secret, utilize the power of manifestation, and, you know, act as if, but just do it. You are that superhero. You are your own partner. You are your savior. You are the white hat. You are the one that's coming to save you. There's no other. You know, our galactic friends are in the room already. They're here. We have to talk to them. This is coming to me now. As if we can see them, just like our guardian angels, just like our dead relatives, just like our future selves. And bridge the fear gap so they can start to form in the 3D, because we'll meet them through the 4D into the 5D. We just can't sit into the fear, you know? That's the only thing. Jupiter and Uranus, both retrograde in our house of money. So things just professionally, things at work, something, a contract, something is just slowed down. I want to say to the point of inertia. It's like, everything is so slow. The only one who's really new boot scooting is Mars over here. Mars is kind of like making his way. He's at 11 degrees of Libra. Oh boy. Sorry, I just recognized that that's activating a point in my chart that's very poignant. So, okay. The Mars and South Node video. This is the point that I was discussing. That's hysterical. So Mars is really the only planet that's moving along at a very, very rapid pace. And Venus is the only other planet that's moving direct right now. What is it saying? I keep not worrying, but I keep having this thought that I need to push behind me each and every time, that like, you have to save everybody. It's like, for light workers, it's backwards. We wake up and we want to save everybody else because we're like, we know that we're just a soul and not this human avatar. But it's so fascinating to me where this South Node and Mars transit in the general wheel in the house of relationships, it's like, I don't know, something's shifting to the point of, what are my guides saying? We're holding hands with really unexpected people. If no one's coming, then talk to your neighbor, like literally your next door neighbor, and see what you have in common with them, aside from the fact that you live in the same beautiful place. Because the Hermit looks backwards. He's the perpetual student and teacher all wrapped into one. We all have Virgo in our chart. We all have a house that Virgo runs, or that, Virgo's in there. So there's a point in all of our lives where we all have to stand alone. But holding hands together, like, is a trust fall. You know what I mean? Where it's saying, North Node in Aries, I am. Ooh, where did Chiron go? He fell down. Pardon me. Sorry. Chiron in Aries, right over here. I wonder when that fell. It's fascinating to me. I didn't even notice. But North Node in Aries is I am. And this is a collective destiny that we're all going towards. So we're all the Hermit. We all have something to bring to the table. Question of the day: when the world goes towards a bartering system, what are you going to bring to town? Artistry, healing, tarot, and astrology. Here. This jazzes me up. I'm so grateful. But, okay. I wanted to quickly step over to some more tarot because, as I've been mentioning, for all the minor arcana, and this is something that I'm studying right now, all the minor arcana run a decan of the tarot. Or pardon me. The minor arcana all run a decan of the wheel. So, let me move my... Oh my God, Mercury goes direct the next day after this new moon. I just realized that. So, this is Eight of Pentacles rules the decan of 1 to 10 degrees of Virgo, as ruled by the sun. So this was the beginning of Virgo season. We're all like, let's get our shit together, making pentacle after pentacle after pentacle after pentacle after pentacle. And he's just lost in the sauce. There's a little yellow brick road that brings him back to town, so he can go back to town whenever he wants, but he's just super keen to be over there. He's just happy as a fucking clam doing his work. So that was the beginning of Virgo season. This is 11 to 20 degrees of Virgo, ruled by Venus. It's one of my favorite cards. This fucker is just out in the garden, just caressing their pentacles. They're enjoying themselves. Like, it's just a beauty. Can't have a bad time. Tits out, enjoying themselves out here. But look at that bird. It's a hawk. A bird of prey. With the helmet on top. They can direct this bird whenever they want. They can unleash whenever they need. I feel like for us as awakened ones, we're recognizing that although we may feel like this Everest is so fucking big, we can't do things the same way that we used to. Even from leadership, even from corporate and, management. We can't work forever till we die. We can't be the last man standing. Once we get to the top, we recognize we need to have others that we can share the load with and delegate with, because we're all human. We all bring something to the table, and we're all worthy of time away from the table. This card. It's one of the best cards in the deck, but one of the most... It's the tape. One of the most fascinating cards in the deck. So, 21 degrees to 30 degrees of Virgo, ruled by Mercury. So very interesting card. The Tree of Life is shown in the pentacles of this card, and it's fascinating because the people on the card don't interact with them in any capacity. It's an overlay. See the difference between like we're engaging in creating the pentacles, we're like enjoying the harvest of the pentacles, and now we can't even fucking see the pentacles. This is like the Millionaire's card. This is like, but can you see the family? I want to get it as close as possible. They're so lost in their daily tasks that they forget to enjoy their beautiful abundance. You know, the wise man, this Odysseus figure, this like he's the millionaire, he's the magician, he's the, you know, wise gentleman, he's the fucking hermit. Here we go. That's come back to town, and only the dogs, just like in the Odysseus story, only the dogs recognize him. Only the dogs, the animalistic side of things is recognized. The beast is recognizing like he's the magical one. Stop getting lost about what he forgot at the fucking grocery store. You're not even paying attention to your goddamn child. Like, who cares? We're all gonna die one day. Enjoy your life of leisure. Enjoy your life. So that's an interesting. So those are the 3 cards that Virgo runs on the wheel. Yeah. So it's like 8, 9, and 10. And this card is the counterpart to because it starts at 21 degrees of Virgo. So I would say, because new moons are perfect time to manifest, although we have all of these retrogrades, go inward. What do you want for yourself? And then, let me rephrase. Go inward. What do you want for yourself? But go multidimensional. Go quantum. I want this for myself and every other person on the planet. I want to be on my highest and best timeline, and I want every other person on the planet to be on their highest and best timeline. Doesn't have to be yours. It doesn't have to be with you. You know what I mean? I want to feel health and wealth and happiness and abundance and joy and prosperity. I want that for myself and every other person on the planet. That doesn't take away from you. That's literally just a beautiful blessing. A beautiful blessing. Can we incorporate that prayer into our everyday life? If no one's coming, then give out then nourish your own spidey senses. You know, if no one's coming and I keep telling you that you are just as magical as me, start nourishing your magic so that you don't feel lost. You know, there is that movie, the movie version of Captain Marvel, whom for a very long time, when I was just coming into my powers and just coming into my knowings and my channeling and my capabilities, and I had just been so doe-eyed and so like, oh my God, everyone around me is so powerful, but I wasn't seeing it in myself. There's this moment in the movie where, you know, she's got that little like chip in her neck that they put in. And go watch the movie. I'm about to spoil an aspect of it, so please go see it. It's a great movie. But she just goes, you know, what would happen if I just became as powerful as I possibly can? If I took the plug out and I just like, what would happen? Because my awakening was so efficient that it felt like I was literally like who I was the beginning of 2020 and who I am now, 3/4 into 2023, completely different beings. This has happened quick, fucking quick. So it reminded me I needed to have someone that I can idealize that said, someone's done this before. Captain Marvel did this before. And so, sorry, I gotta get Chiron. Also, check in on your 50-year-old friends. They're all having their Chiron return in some capacity. And like, I am is the statement of Aries. We've talked about that. And Chiron is like our deepest core wound. So there's a component to them in that generation that, and you know, Pam Gregory, I have to give accolades to her. She was doing a talk with David Farrell, and that's where I was listening to this, and she had said it. beautifully, where that generation and that Chiron, just a natal Aries placement, just is like a component of the I am they weren't allowed to have. They weren't safe to be themselves. You know, I've stumbled across this woman that, you know, is in reels and in shorts and stuff like that, where she's talking about the Gen Z, the 50-year-olds, where she was like, we weren't allowed to have gluten intolerances, we weren't allowed to have this, we weren't allowed to have that. And it's like the satire, and like she's kind of like mocking a little bit of like the younger generation and how sensitive they are, basically. Where it's like, every time I see these videos, her inner child is in roaring pain. This poor woman was not given any capacity. Like, if you have a gluten intolerance, honey, like, you're allowed to poop regularly. That's really okay. That's an option for you. But I get it. You're tough as nails. You can, you know, like, handle anything. You're thrown out baby with the bathwater and you crawled right up again. That's fucking Chiron. You're allowed to just be, dude. I feel bad, but I don't feel bad. She's, you know, made an incredible following for herself. You never pity anyone outside of yourself. You just be like, wow, I see that. There's a component to myself that I still have a lot to heal and things like that. So whenever you see something that's triggering, and I do this too, especially in Virgo season, because we're just working on ourselves to give it back to the rest of the world. It's good. It's good. I'm just wearing Virgo right now, so. Lost my train of thought right there. Completely lost my train of thought. You see someone that triggers you. Whatever they're doing. This woman is spouting off like judgments about other people because of her generation. So I see that and I get triggered. What is that within myself? As a millennial, we're so tired. We had to break the matrix molds. So like, I had to do what you were too scared to do, miss. And I get it. It was very painful and uncomfortable, and I'm still unpacking the fucking mental issues of it. But please learn how to meditate, miss. Like, you know, that's what it's like. Every generation has to pick up the pieces of the one before it, like whether it be just like karmically based, the new babies being born, they're coming in clean. They're not dealing with this anymore. It's the trouble on the planet that we have to tend to. It's like karma has stopped. This is literally just coming to me. Okay, so it's hard to, because it's not linear. Non-linear karma has stopped. So if we, this is so hard to verbalize. It's like karma are VHSs and the new babies being born right now are DVDs. Did I get it? So when you do things, if you're human already and you do something, you are just like a VHS, and you can go and like you got all of the like the stuff out of it, and you got to go to the place and get it pulled back in. Basically, like it's giving me the dwarf planet vibes. It's giving me that, you know, if you're choosing the karmic path, you'll get a dwarf planet just to kind of live out the VHS VCR thing, and then the new babies being born are DVDs and Blu-rays. That was beautiful. I'm sorry. Did any of you get that? Yeah. And it's not like a negative. There's no judgment. It's really kind of nostalgic. Yeah, if you're continuing to participate in karma right now, it's nostalgia. That's wild. That's just coming to me now. And I get it. I went to Marshall's today, and I literally was walking around, and I had this moment where I was like, well, where are like the undershirts? Like, where are like the wife beaters? Where are the t-shirts? And I was looking around, and I just had this thought. I was like, Sarah, it is not 1993. Did you know that? It's not 1993. The section that you're looking for does not exist right now in the time and space conundrum that you're in. It's 2023. It's not 1993. And so I got a beautiful dress for $10 and then I left. But it was a very odd, interesting moment where I was like, yeah, the section, the style of clothing that you were looking for, the style of, I was looking for a bralette to wear in my art nude stuff and in my painting. I was looking for all these different things within like the negligee section, and there just like wasn't really a negligee section. It was wild, dude. I know. There was just no negligee rack at Marshall's because apparently it's 2023 and not 1993. I had no idea. So, yeah, check in on your 50-year-old friends. They're having an astrological time and they will not look at the astrology. So just be gentle and tell them nice things because they haven't heard it in a while. I don't know why that came through. Actually, I know exactly why that came through. Okay. So let's wrap it up a little bit. On the micro, for yourself personally, if you are just going to watch this and not dive into the individual readings, look at your daily life. Do I want to be doing every single thing that I'm about to do today? And check in like at each block of the day. Check in the morning. Do I like my morning routine? Can I wake up whenever I want and do whatever I want? Do I want that freedom? And then midday, do I want to be eating what I'm about to be eating? Food is very different right now. It's very intuitive. It's changing. Flavors are changing. We're not going to have the same access to food in the future that we have now. So a lot of us that are, very, very intuitive eating are enjoying things that kind of come from other countries for now because we can. It's kind of cool. Again, everything's nostalgic. We're going into a new world. It's so exciting. Oh my God, I had this whole past life tale come to me yesterday. I'm going to record it as soon as I stop recording here because it was my first life and it was not human. I'm very excited. I'm going to record it after this. I've never seen it. I've only seen it in specific avenues before, so this one was kind of cool. The full moon that's going to be a few weeks after this is going to be in Aries. So we're going to be letting go and releasing of very I am statements. A few weeks ago, we had that full moon in Pisces where we didn't really understand a lot of what was going on. And it was kind of very confusing. That was the last house of the zodiac wheel, the last house. It was very soul purpose. It was we probably had dreams that were very interesting. Just a very etheric space. Pisces is like half in this world, half in the other. Aries is the infant baby ram of the zodiac. We came out swinging. Fucking swinging. So in a few weeks, we're going to be releasing what it is that is the old self, the old I am. So now let's plant seeds of what I want to do. It's kind of like we know internally that we're this new, beautiful, magical being, We know we're this guy. And we know we have something to offer. We know we have something to do. We know we're the hermit in some capacity. We know that nobody's coming to help us, so we get to help ourselves. And we don't find that a victim mentality. We find that very empowering. I am, North Node in Aries. So let's really look at our everyday life and look at what we've been manifesting. Oh my God, I have to do a whole video on rebranding quitting to the pivot. I know. So why don't we look at if our internal being is this majestic, magical being, we've really reassessed our values. We don't like how little or much money we're making. We want to be making more, but in a very different type of a way. Change the trajectory, change the paradigm, change your outlook on it. Act as if. You're divine feminine. You're waiting for your man's. Man's a baller. You know that. You know he's just going to be dripping in it, and he's just going to be able to take care of you, and you get to tend to his needs and take care of the house, and you're not going to have to work. You get to work on calming your nervous system and tending to the garden, and it's like you're waiting. But he ain't here. So what do? You find jobs that you can do that are very efficient time. The whole thing's falling down, literally, as I'm telling you this. So it's like short periods of time that you can, if you need to use the term hustle, use the term hustle. Is it pulling? No, we're good. If you need to use the term hustle, then use the term hustle. But without ego, you get to do a job. You're going to date your paper, is what I'm saying. Do a job. You only have to do a little bit. And then the rest of the time, you are sinking into that calm nervous system. You are acting as if. You are learning how to do all the things that you want to do when you do meet him. And then you can cook for 2 for 1. And then you get lunch the next day. Learn how to do the things that you know you get to do when it's bougie as fuck. Act as if. For the longest time, I was like, put together all this, put together all that, and then afterwards you're just going to get to make art and just do all of that stuff. My art is incredibly galactic and healing and quantum and multidimensional. Why not make it now and share with the world now? There are those who are ready for it. I'm ready for it, so there must be others that are ready for it. So I just got to go into that vibration, and act as if. And do the things that I need to do before that day to take care of my needs. You know what I mean? I don't want you to sink into victim mentality with no one is coming. I don't want that for any of us. Like, it is not about but it's the end of Virgo season, so we gotta use a little bit of the vibe. But if no one's coming, caricaturize all of the things. And this is not even my language. This is a personal growth and development language where it's like, have an alter ego. And your alter ego is all the things that you've put into that, like Santa Claus being that was coming, whether it be a partner, an investor, the proper job, ABC. Create an alter ego for yourself that is a badass in all those ways. You needed a sugar daddy, they're a baller. You needed this, they're intelligent and do not have any sort of emotional immaturity, and they're cognizant of all the things, big dick energy. Name it. Give that alter ego a uniform. And then when you need to be that version, put on that coat, put on that cape, put it on and say, I am this version. I have zero shame. I'm not afraid to do any of these things. I can do this. Yeah. Yeah, this is like personal development, rewiring your brain, multidimensionality, quantum physics, astrology, tarot, and artistry, all wrapped into Sarah. Is there anything else? Now my gods are celebrating. Way to go, kid. You did it. All right. What questions do you have for me? What are you looking to work towards for this new moon? Are you manifesting? Are you not manifesting? What is best for you? And like I said, all of the readings this month are going to be public. I'm going to really do a deep dive for this Mercury retrograde into my Patreon and what I want to utilize it for. There is a donation tier if you're keen. The link for that is below. I put so much energy and effort into these videos, and I, spend all of my time studying, and I really appreciate every single one of you for being here. And that give and take vibration is really exceptional, and I appreciate that. If you are keen to financially give back, I have a $3 a month tier just to support. If you're interested, the link to that is below. But I'm gonna just pull away from the teaching Patreon for right now and put as much out into YouTube as I possibly can. And if you are keen for a one-on-one session, please reach out directly. The link for my website is below if you're interested. All of my rates and things are there. Or if you'd like, we can do intuitive questions. I think, what did I write down? I think it was like $40 if you wanted to send along your question, and I can record like a 15-minute video for you about what that could look like. But please reach out always. I'm going to just give you as much free content as I possibly can for this new moon. And a Tony Robbins quote, "The secret to living is giving." So it is my pleasure. And I hope you utilize the energies of this new moon to the best possible, most authentic, highest timeline for yourself. I really wish that for you. I personally am just working on manifesting a legacy and time freedom. Literal time freedom. I want to be able to create when I want to create. I want to give as much as I can to you. I want to show my art to the world and just step into my full galactic muse self. So I'm very, very excited for that. For my personal natal chart, I got 2 new moons in my 10th house, so I find that to be poignant and specific. But the Mercury retrograde really highlighted a lot of things for me within the very tippity top of my chart. Actually, at some point, I'll do a chart reading for myself for you. I know I've mentioned that before, but it's very personal stuff. It's like showing you the closet. But please let me know what you're going through and what you're working on for this Virgo season new moon. I know there are a few Virgo suns that are subscribers to the channel, so happy birthday to all of you. And I will see you soon. Ciao.